Hey guys, Abby Stafford here again. And if you're wondering why the last video and in this video I've got my hair pulled back and it looks like I'm wearing a tank top, it's because I film these in the evening after I've gone to the gym, and rather than put it off to when my hair looks good, I'm at my best, I figured I'd get this content out to you guys so that you can start applying some of the principles and the information that I'm showing you. So anyways, enough about that. Last night was a kind of lengthy video and didn't get into serious detail on the debt snowball, so I wanted to circle back on that and kind of flesh that out, especially if there's some of you out there that have never heard of the debt snowball or have no idea what I'm referring to. So the debt snowball is a method of paying off debt that you list your debts in order from smallest balance to largest. And you pay minimums on everything except for the very top debt, the smallest debt. And every extra dollar that you can squeeze out of your budget, you throw at that top debt. And the goal is, because it's the smallest one, hopefully you can get that paid off quickly. And then whatever you had been paying on that top debt, you can then roll into the minimum payment on the second one. And as you work your way through the list, that monthly payment picks up steam, it picks up dollars, and by the time you get towards the bottom, you're chunking a pretty large portion at each successively larger debt. It definitely gets you excited quickly because you see progress almost right away. Usually, most of the clients that I work with, their top debt is usually under $1,000 or right around $1,000. So, if they're able to squeeze out extra money from their budget to throw at that, depending on what kind of dollars they're working with, they can see that progress and that payoff pretty quickly. So a lot of personal finance is completely behavioral. It's changing your behavior surrounding money in a positive way, so that you can, get out of debt and build up savings and start to build wealth and really just, recognize your dreams and go for your dreams. So that's what I'm trying to help you guys with here tonight. So anyways, back to the debt snowball. Going back to my every dollar example that I showed in the last video, I've actually made some edits to the debt portion and added a couple things just to kind of make it maybe more applicable to more people. But I've also named every single different debt, as opposed to credit card 1, credit card 2, medical bill, whatever. I've actually given them names, like I mentioned doing last night in the video. Chase Visa, Amex Blue Cash, Amex Platinum. We've got 2 hospitals bills on here, so I've named them based on who the provider was. I've split the student loans into unsubsidized and subsidized, and then I've also named the car loan for whoever the debt holder is. In this case, it's BMW Financial. So as you can see, the list, every dollar does a good job of being able to sort in order of smallest to largest so that your debt snowball is in order. And I've put in our hypothetical minimum monthly payments here. So because I did add several extra debts into the snowball, if you remember last night, we were throwing over $300 a month at this top one, the Chase Visa. Obviously, with the additional minimum payments, we are no longer able to throw that kind of money at it. But I've got everything sorted. I've got all the minimums put in. Everything's done in the budget, except up here you can see, get rid of that. You can see right here that I've still got $76 left to budget. So if you are on baby step 2, and in our example we assume that we paid off or had the $1,000 baby step 1 emergency fund saved in the last video, we would add that $76 here to the planned. So there we go. We would go here, and I think at 113 I think is the right. Yes, so now we've got an every dollar, aka zero-based budget. And down here in the Chase Visa details, you'll see the $37 minimum payment and the $76 extra payment. So if you look, what I like to do with my clients is I show them this number down here. And usually we will also flesh out a debt snowball on paper. And so I have a balance, like theoretically at the bottom of this that adds up all of the debts combined. So we take that amount, and let me see if I go over here to the baby steps. Okay, so yeah, if you toggle over, there's in the PC version of every dollar, there are these logos over here on the far left. If you hit the little cube, it takes you to the baby steps. So here, like I said last night, we assume that we had the $1,000 saved. Baby step 1 complete. And then here, it actually totals all your debts. So in our example, we've got $79,643 in total debt. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring up my calculator here if I can find it. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here, 79,643. So if I do 79,643 and I divide that by 1147, it is going to take me 69 months, which, if we divide that by 12, a little under 6 years to pay that off at the rate that we're currently paying down the debt, which is at $1,147 a month. It's a nice visual for most of the people that I work with to see, okay, this is how long it's going to take. And I know I met with one couple several months ago where both were very good earners, but they had accumulated some debt related to their house, related to credit cards. They had some student loans yet that they were paying off. And it wasn't a matter of them not being able to afford it. They just hadn't been paying attention to it. When I took them through this process and, with their combined monthly incomes and what they were able to get their budget down to, I think the amount of time that they calculated that they were going to be debt free was like 18 months. And when I showed that to them this way, it was like their eyes lit up because they could see the end in sight. And, as nerdy and as much of a 4-letter word that budgeting can be sometimes, this is why I do it, why I like helping people with this, because when they aren't afraid of the numbers and when you pay attention to your money and you know where every dollar is going in the month, it gives you an end goal and it gives you progress. It shows you progress and you recognize wins, especially by doing the debt snowball. And I think it's just a really powerful thing to be able to see this and see that it's going to work. If we can follow the plan and keep working the baby steps. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek if every dollar and budgeting apps are not your thing. This is my Excel-based budgeting forms. And I've put in the same exact examples as we had in every dollar. So if you look, the budgeted monthly income is the same as it was over in every dollar. And the categories are slightly different, but they're pretty similar. And like I said, the amounts are all the same. But the reason I wanted to take you over here, again, if you look up here, kind of like when we started the every dollar, we still have $76 left to budget because of adding those debts in and reducing the first one down to the minimum just to get started. But I wanted to show you this debt info tab. And in here, this is where I listed out, where I would list out my clients' debts. And in this example, I listed out all the same debts that we saw over on every dollar. And what's nice is you can print this out. And if you're dealing with, particularly nasty collectors or just particularly nasty credit card companies that are really, on you daily or weekly about making payments, you can write down whoever you're talking to at that company, their phone number, your account number, so you have all that information all in one place. And it kind of helps you be organized, and like I coach all of my clients to do, take really good notes whenever you get on the phone with somebody. When you're dealing with this, you want to be able to refer back to that if there's a discrepancy later on down the line, as it often happens with collectors because they lie out of both sides of their mouth. So anyways, so back to this, you got the total balance, and then you got the monthly minimum payment. And that actually feeds over into this tab labeled Debt Snowball. And what you want to do here is, there's a column for each month, and you've got, in addition to those, you've got your starting balance and your minimum payment. What you do is you track the amount that you can pay each month, and it could change from month to month. In our example, we were able to put the extra $76 here on this top one, but that could change depending on if there's some unusual expenses running through your budget in a particular month, or whatever the case may be. And then that actually feeds over to here, into the budget tab. So okay, so to make the budget form work, what we would have to do is we would have to go back up here to the first minimum payment, and actually go back to the debt info page, and we're going to change that to the 113, so that it then flows through to the minimum payment amount, and then that would flow onto the budget page, and everything would be updated, and the balance would be 0. So just wanted to give you guys a little two different examples of how the Debt Snowball works, both in the app and in Excel, and just a little bit more of an explanation for those of you that have not worked with the Debt Snowball, or maybe hadn't heard of that method before. So if you have any questions or comments about this video, feel free to leave me a comment in the comments down below. If you like this, give me a like. If you want to get my videos every time I publish them, be sure to subscribe and sign up for the notifications. And I will see you on the next video.